watching Heart to Heart with Saima, the podcast show for people searching for that courageous person within us who wants to be inspired by listening to stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I'm Saima Dillon, your host. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here. Let's dive right in. Be ready to change, pivot. Change is extremely difficult. However, change is the only constant thing for my life, especially being where I am. I started bringing change in my life a few years ago. And since then, I started educating myself. I started taking webinars and courses, signing up for every or anything that I could find that would help me educate, learn, grow, pivot. I didn't realize that it was getting me ready for 2020, because for me, 2020 has been a year which has redefined me as a person. It's redefined the way I do business. It's just redefined the way I look at life. For me, 2020 has been that final icing on the cake. It's given me the courage to execute and implement all those classes, all the courses, the webinars that I had been taking for the past 3 years. I've been changing. For me, change has now become, it's the source for adrenaline. It's become something very empowering. I think I'm addicted to change now. Initially, it's very difficult because change is very, very difficult. In order to change, you have to, first of all, you have to come to the conclusion that there's something wrong or that change is required. Most of us, we live and we prefer to be in that consistent state, in that constant feeling of complacency, a place where we understand our surroundings, a place where we are comfortable with who we are, with everyone around us. But change is where growth comes from. Change is something that helps us evolve in life. Change is something which makes dreams come true. There are different kinds of people out there. And I have been one of those people at the different stages of my life. I think for me, change started when I came to the US as an immigrant. 18, 19-year-old who was ready to take this world for whatever it's worth, and just, it was the beginning of an adventure for me. And it was a moment where I was ready to change my life. That was a long time ago. And I think what started at that point, but then I went into complacency along that journey. Being a realtor for 16 years, doing real estate in the Dallas-Frisco area for 16 years. Being in that space, it brings with it complacency. It brings with it a feeling where you're just going with the flow and you're taking those actions and you're comfortable with yourself and you are just content in your space. But I feel that was not my destiny. My destiny is something which evolves for me, for anyone else. Your destiny is something that you do control, because you are the architect of your own life. You're the one who gets to define how your life is going to be. However you visualize your life, you are the one who's going to write your story. No one else will. In 2016, when my husband told me that we are losing our business and that he'll have to shut everything down, it was a very, very difficult time, because I was in a very complacent space. That right there was the beginning of my journey changing. Maybe it was destined for me to be a different person. Maybe the universe was not content by me being complacent. Right there was the beginning of change. Right there where I started knocking on doors and I started trying to search. I was lost. I change was needed, but I wasn't sure what was needed. What did I need to do? It's a very difficult time for us as individuals when we are at crossroads in our life, where we are hit by a storm and we don't know where to turn to. Left, right, north, south, east, west. Where are we supposed to look? What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to find a balance? But you know what? Pivot. Change. For me, 2020 brought change. It brought execution of everything that I had been seeking, everything that I had been exploring, everything that I had been learning. I got an opportunity in 2020 to just stop, because life stopped. We didn't know what was going to happen. Sitting at home from February onwards, where we didn't know what was going to happen with real estate. But those 3 years that I had spent learning, educating myself, I came to realize that was the reason that I had spent the past 3 years, so I could execute everything that I had learned. Pivot. It's not easy. It's very difficult. But you know what? When you start bringing change in your life, and when you start realizing that you are the architect of your life, and that you're the one who gets to write your story, and then no one else in the world has the power to write your story but you, right there. That's right there. It's life-changing. And you feel like once you embrace change, you feel like you're on top of the world. You feel like there is no stopping you. You feel like everything is possible. Just like they say, the word impossible, it's actually I am possible. And that's just what it is. Once you embrace change, you pivot, you feel that you can do anything in this world that you set your mind to. There's no stopping. The sky's the limit. And for me, That's where I am. That's the space I'm in right now. I feel there's no stopping. It's just the beginning. So thank you for watching. This is Saima Dillon with Heart to Heart with Saima, a show which shares stories of extraordinary things. Thank you for watching.